Alrighty guys, for today's video, I wanted to do a quick guide on what crest you should be going on support and why. In this video, we'll talk about all the different options you have available, as well as the different times you'd want to go them, and also how to know when to build them on your characters and games. With all that said, I make tons of content like this for Predecessor and Smite, so if you're interested in learning more about the support role in either of those games, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like that. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, typically in support, you really only have 6 total options for your crest, and those are Sanctification, Rift Walkers, Leaf Song, Tranquility, Silentium, and Reclamation. Now, as you can see here, you have other options in Predecessor for your opening crest. However, none of these are really viable in support when it comes to properly playing the game. You can go these and have a fun time and maybe pull off some cheese strategies. However, when it comes to Predecessor and also any MOBAs in general, gold gain on support is crucial, because in support, you are not last hitting any minions or jungle camps. You're giving those to your teammates. And in Predecessor, that's the only way to get gold except for these crests. These crests allow you to passively gain gold by just existing and being a good support. So these help you stay in the game. Typically on support, you are designed to be playing from behind, and these crests help you mitigate that loss as much as possible. While you can have some success in the early to mid game by going one of these for extra tankiness or some extra damage, you are going to notice late game you have fallen off very hard if you don't get the extra gold from Guardian and Consort, and the enemy support does. Also, if you're playing against an enemy team, a good enemy team I should say, they will heavily punish you for not having that extra gold and being down an item or two in the late game. So with that said, how do we decide between the starter of Guardian Crest and Consort Quest? Well, let's go ahead and talk about what they give you. Guardian Crest gives you 40 health, 20% base health regen, 0.2 gold per second, and the passive is on any damage instance towards an enemy, that's minions or enemy characters, you are restoring 20 health and you're gaining 15 gold. You generate a charge every 30 seconds and it requires nearby allied heroes to activate. You can hold up to 3 charges, and after gaining 150 gold, it evolves into a Keeper Crest. And then it also has a second passive called Pacifist, where you receive diminishing gold for minion kills, so you're getting less gold from killing minions. The second option you have is Consort Crest. This gives you, again, 40 health, but this time it gives you 25 base mana regen and 0.2 gold per second. The passive on this is deal 10 damage and gain 15 gold on any damage instance towards an enemy, and charges again generate every 30 seconds, and same thing, they require a nearby allied hero to activate, holds 3 charges, and again after gaining 150 gold it evolves into that Keeper Crest again with the same pacifist passive. So you can see here the main difference is this gives you mana regen and extra damage. This gives you health regen and healing. So at a base level, what you're looking for when you're playing support is, what do you struggle with the most? Are you a tank character? And if so, is the extra sustain going to be beneficial for you? Or are you an enchanter type character and the extra mana regen is going to be beneficial for you, as well as the extra damage? Like, are you a poke support or are you an in-your-face support? Now, even on those in-your-face supports, they are still pretty mana hungry and you can benefit heavily from that base mana regen and that extra 10 damage. But typically speaking, deciding between these two and what character to go them on comes down to if you need the healing or if you need the mana. You know, on characters like FaZe or Zinx or Narbash, I really like to go this Consort Crest because you're getting a ton of mana and a ton of damage. Whereas on Guardian Crest, I really like to go this on characters like Richter. Morn, I think, can use both pretty well, but Steel uses Guardian Crest really well, and there's others general tank characters use this item very well. Now, that's only for the early game. And in support, you can't just be thinking about the early, you also have to be thinking about the late game, and that's when the evolve options come into play. So you also need to think about what of these are you going to need in the late game. Tranquility gives you a heal to you and your nearby allies. It also grants 10% damage mitigation for 2 seconds. Silentium silences an enemy hero for 1 second and it deals 150 damage. Reclamation cleanses yourself and nearby allies, and it has a 180-second cooldown. All of these are typically designed for enchanter type of playstyles, whereas Guardian Crest, again, is more designed for your tank playstyles, with Sanctification giving you and nearby allies a 150 plus 8% scaling health shield for 3 seconds. And while the shield's active, you and nearby heroes gain 45% tenacity, which is essentially crowd control reduction. Rift Walkers gives you a short dash that pulls nearby heroes towards you, and Leaf Song gives you and your teammates movement speed. It makes you immune to slows, and you can pass through heroes for 4 seconds, removing body blocking completely. So again, these 3 are mainly for tank options typically, and these 3 are mainly for enchanter types of characters. Now, when would you want to alternate? Personally speaking, I think Leaf Song is a very good item that works good on enchanters and tanks because of the movement speed. Making an enchanter very quick is a very good way to prevent them from being locked down, which a lot of enchanters struggle with. They are very easy to lock down, so that extra movement speed from Leaf Song could be really nice. But again, you have to sacrifice early that mana regen you're getting from Consort Crest. Sanctification is also typically a good option on a enchanter type of character because that extra shield is super prevalent, especially if you're going to build some health anyway. And the tenacity is very important if you're going against a high CC team comp. If you're going against a high CC team comp and you're a character that is an enchanter support, or if you're a backline peel support, Silentium or Reclamation can be very good as well, because you're already standing near your teammates. And if you're a backline peel or an enchanter, you're usually going to be glued to your carry or your mid laner, and these items are going to give you a ton of value. Silentium allows you to silence an enemy jungler when they try to dive you in your backline. Reclamation is able to cleanse CC from you in your backline as well. So let's say, for instance, you're against a Richter with super heavy CC and Richter pulls you or your carry. You can immediately pop this so that way the ult is not stunning you and you're able to get out. Tranquility is really nice if you're playing a healer because it just adds on some extra healing. And one thing that I really like about Tranquility is if you're playing an AoE healer or a healer that benefits at all from Tainted Totem, Tranquility actually also procs Tainted Totem. So you're getting extra Tainted Totem value. And that's one of the best anti-heal options in support right now. So you're getting lots of value out of that already. With Guardian Crest, I really like Rift Walkers on characters with heavy hitting CC. I think Steel Rift Walkers is a must buy because if you get that pull off from this passive or the active, sorry, that is a guaranteed Steel ult almost every time. You go for the pull and then you slam down on the ult. Or characters like Richter or Morn, this allows you to hit a very easy pull on them, or a very easy Richter ult, or a very easy Morn Mesmerize. Leaf Song is very good on characters like Narbash because you're already buffing your teammates with movement speed and you're giving them even more, as well as the slow immunity. It's also very good on characters like Decker, for instance, because although she is a really nice passive, she's a bit easy to lock down and this gives you a tiny bit more mobility. However, if you're playing Decker, I typically recommend Sanctification or Rift Walkers over Leaf Song, or going one of these three as well. But overall, when it comes to picking your crest and support, it really just boils down to what type of game are you trying to play and what do you struggle with the most. Regardless of the evolving options, ultimately think about what do you need the most. Is it the mana or is it the healing and the health? If you're going to play as an enchanter, almost always this and the three options will give you value, because even in the later part of the game, you're still getting that mana regen. You're just not going to get one of these three actives or passives. Versus if you're a tank, these three are going to be more beneficial for you because of all the healing and shielding you're going to get. You know, you're getting 50% base health regen, plus you're getting a shield from Sanctification, or you're getting that extra dash from this, or you're getting the movement speed and slow immunity from this. So it's ultimately going to boil down to what you're going to want. A lot of players will also talk about, you know, it's important to counter build with these and counter play with these. However, when it comes to the crests, I really think in support, this is one of the few times you can be extremely selfish and say what is going to help you the most, because by helping you the most, it's going to help the team the most. So if you think it's the healing, get Tranquility. If you think it's the CC cleanse, get Reclamation. If you think it's the movement speed, get Leaf Song. If that extra CC on the pull guaranteeing you another ability, get the Rift Walkers. If it's, you know, they do heavy burst, get the Sanctification. That's what it's going to boil down to. And ultimately, you're not going to get the same thing every game because you're going to play a different character every game. And sometimes you're not even get the same thing in every character. So all in all, just use your best judgment. Use what we've talked about in this video to help you make those decisions, and you will see a noticeable improvement in your support games. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, please leave a like and comment what you want to see next. And with all that said, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.